Hi, beloved friends. This is your friend Suna Senman, and boy, are we in some time right now where there is so much information and contradictory information. And I just want to help you feel more secure in knowing your truth. And each one of us has our truth. And we access this, or we know it's true when there is a calm feeling within inside, when there is a deeper joy, even if it's sad information or yeah, seemingly bad news, if you'd want to call it that. The truth within, or the feeling of truth within, is always some sort of clarity and calmness. Now, there's been a lot of talk about, false information, like fake news, false information, even false spiritual leaders or guides or gurus, it's false spiritual people. And I think you don't have to worry. You don't have to be afraid of anything, because you just need to come within, breathe into your heart chakra, into the diamond light within. Breathe within and then discern, is this information making me more peaceful, calming, loving, embracing, or is it making me anxious and fearful and wanting to separate and fight against? So the peaceful, the calm, and the loving are really divine qualities, qualities that we all know belong to God. So you can understand that that information is divine. It is of God. And the piece of information that makes you anxious and nervous and fearful, and that it's a delusional. It's some people don't like that word, delusional, but actually it's accurate, because it's not of God, and that which is not of God really isn't real if there is a divine force. So I'm seeing this lots of places, especially if you're a younger person that tends to trust and depend on other people to give you your truth. It's really important to allow for your own inner truth, your own higher self, your own inner wisdom to speak, to come forth. So it really doesn't matter everything we're hearing and everything we're getting from different people. Use your own discernment and feel what feels loving and that which feels like disturbing and conflicting and warring and trying to be against people and separating. When you are expanding your heart and maturing in your soul and your heart, you become to accept everything, not that you are for everything, but at least you accept it, and you keep a vision of the oneness ideal, the peace world ideal, and you become that peace world. It doesn't matter what comes at you. You always give compassion. You always give love. And you are who you are now in this moment. You are not who you were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago. You are who you are now in this moment. So don't let anyone try to redefine you into how they experienced you in the past. It's very common. It's it's a manipulative practice of the world that wants to hold you down. But you are a divine sovereign being, and you are new in every moment. And that's a beautiful thing, because you can just choose in this moment, no matter what happens, to be forgiving and loving, accepting, forgiving and loving. And that's what Jesus did in the crucifixion. He was accepting of the situation, accepting of where the people were, and he continued to be loving and compassionate and forgiving, to the point where he just said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. And that really is what's happening. It's ignorance. It's not knowing what you're doing that brings about the conflict and the accusation of others and such. So, and I know this is even happening within families. Continue to love. Just continue to love. Love yourself first, giving yourself respect for your divine sovereignty. And in that way, you're also loving others. So when people want to drag you into their misery, you would be actually harming them to go into their misery. But to keep your love and your joy is helping them. And they may scream and shout about it, but there's really only two ways of going: towards divinity and the peace world and love and joy, or away from it. So the knowingness brings you to it, the ignorance brings you away from it. And those people who are ignorant tend to claim to be the teachers who tell you how it is. Only your higher self knows how it is. Follow the divine guidance within your heart. You are beloved divine beings. Go forward in this day with blessings.